Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has faulted the Nigeria Bar Association stand that the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State by President Bola Tinubu was unconstitutional and illegal. Wike alleged that the NBA discredited Tinubu's decision because the Rivers government had promised to host their annual general conference. The minister stated this when officials of the body of benchers, led by its chairman Adeboyega Awolmolo, visited him in Abuja on Friday. He added that the association did not support the declaration of a state of emergency because there would be no money to give to the NBA for the conference. The minister called on the body of benchers to call the NBA to order over the association's unnecessary criticism of the judiciary. He said that the body should not sit and watch while the NBA and its members destroy the legal profession. The minister also accused the NBA of describing any support rendered by the executive arm of government to the judicial arm as a bribe. When the NBA was building its national secretariat, the leadership wrote to the executive. He said, I was the only one who contributed to the NBA to build the national secretariat. The NBA didn't see it as a bribe. When you contribute to the body of benchers, it is a bribe. But when you contribute to NBA, it is not a bribe. They will take it. The same NBA will rely on state governments to sponsor their activities. But when the state government supports the judiciary, it is bribery, he added. Mr. Wike said that the constant taunting of judges and justices had made them to avoid attending social gatherings or going to church or mosque for fear of molestation. He added that judges could no longer shake people's hands freely because lawyers would accuse them of collecting bribes. Let me start with you, Judge. What do you make of this story?
What the FCT minister has said here is just nothing but the truth. If you've been following the activities of NBA, especially in the recent executive
led by Afamosugo.
Huh?
Afamosugo.
Yeah. You will understand what the FCT minister is saying, especially in matters concerning River State. You know, you see them all this way, even going against, the judgment of a court because of their interest. They have scheduled their NBA conference to hold by August this year here in River State. So with this state of emergency, it's obvious that it's going to affect everything they are doing, especially whatever they're expecting from the state government. All this while they've been siding the governor as against even a competent court of court that has given a judgment on the matter. They keep going against it. Some of their members, if you have been following, have openly challenged what the executive is doing. So what Wike has said is not new to us. It's something that we already know. It is about where they can get support. And if the support is not forthcoming, they discredit it. Like he said, he's the only one that contributed to the building of the National Secretariat of NBA. As at that time, NBA never saw it as bribe. But the moment the body of benchers visit him and he gives some kind of support, it's a bribe. If the executive arm build houses for the judges, it's a bribe. But the NBA don't take bribe. Theirs is support, it's not bribe. So obviously what you see playing out is because of this, their scheduled national conference that will be holding by August here in Rivers State. Obviously, it may not hold again, or even if it's going to hold, they will definitely not get the support of the government like they have always been getting. So that is why you see them making the kind of statement. So Wike is right to have asked people to save the judiciary from these people, because even them as lawyers who should somehow save the judiciary are the ones, simply because of their parochial interest, simply because of their selfish interest, are the ones trying to bring the legal profession into public opprobrium. So Wike is very right. It's something that is known to anybody any discerning man that follows the activities of this current MBA. They have not done well at all.
But then that still will not excuse the actions of some of the judges, in political crisis, not just in Rivers State, but across the states. Even at some point, the Kekere Dun came out to speak about it, and he admonished judges on some of the actions they take. You recall again that at some point, I think there was a time that, no, not I think, there was a time that some judges in River State were actually summoned by the NJC. And I think one of them was punished or is still undergoing that punishment. Would one say that the judiciary is completely innocent?
No. That's not the point I'm trying to make. Okay. That's not the point I'm trying to make. In every case, you must see isolated cases here and there. Okay. We are not saying that all the judges are not corrupt. That's not what we are saying. In this case, if you find that Mr. A or Judge A is corrupt, given the judgment he has given, why don't you call a judge instead of ridiculing the entire judiciary? Okay. Simply because someone at the executive arm assisted the judiciary, therefore everything about judiciary is corrupt. Look at the case of River State, the judgment that was given by the Supreme Court. Do you know that people, even some legal luminaries, some people who are lawyers, and those who have not even read the judgment, who did not even know what is filed in court, because the case did not favor the executive governor, therefore they collected bribe. That is how we have, decided to ridicule the judiciary. It has made people no longer have hope in judiciary, even when these people have given the right judgment. Because before you criticize, you should have read what the other people fight, how they fight their matter, and if you can fault it based on the principle of law, it's okay. Not by sentiment, not by because of your own emotion. You feel that this case should have gone like this. Since it did not go that way, therefore they have collected bribe. Meanwhile, you've not taken note of what they fight. If what they fight should have given them judgment.
All right. Well, Frank, what do you make of this story?
I want to go straight to the story, not to dabble into unnecessary bickering. NBA says it's unconstitutional. That's the bone of contention with Wike. When they say, with my little knowledge of jurisprudence, when they say something is unconstitutional, is that it's not backed by the constitution of the land. Sorry, when somebody says something is unconstitutional, it means it's not backed by the law of the land, our so-called 1999 constitution as amended, as we are destroying it before the open eye of the world. APA is a body that should direct, it should be the thinking cap, the legal mind of any sincere administration in the world, if we believe. When I was a boy, we have great integrity. There's no dignity in our society. Ordinarily, are we supposed to be talking about this? When we say something is unconstitutional, we have been able to know by the law of the land. Are we supposed, like that when we're killing twins in this country, it was settled by us, even it was against the law of nature. Until a woman came, Mrs. Soto came and opened our eyes. That killing of twins is an abomination, but we accepted it. But it's our culture. It's our tradition. NBA did not say anything wrong. He said, what the Mr. President did is unconstitutional. Like I said before, yes, in the whole world, by virtue of constitution, any leader, even in a local area, they can also create an emergency. President has right. That's why he has discretion. He has right to declare state of emergency. Not suspension or removal of any serving or elected governor. He has discretion to give state of emergency. That I know very well with my little mind. So when they are saying it's unconstitutional, they are saying by the constitution, Mr. President does not have right to remove or suspend elected officials. That's the way where they have issue of unconstitutional, not on emergency. So even our Minister of FCT telling us now, he's a lawyer, so to say here. He should also understand that his body, where he is a lawyer, because for anybody to be a judge, I don't need to go to law school. For anybody to be a judge, you must be a lawyer. You cannot be a judge without being a lawyer. They know the law. So when the law stands against them, they turn it upside down and begin to play politics with it. What the NBA says is very correct. Whether they are coming to host a meeting in River State, I don't care. But can we point to the law? Or that this thing you have done is against the law that you swore to protect? That's what the NBA says. So who am I to talk? If NBA does not come out and say, this thing you have done, Mr. President, but by removing, they are not saying emergency now, removing, suspending the elected governor. That's the bone of contention. Go to the public space. They are nobody is saying that. For me, I will not say that the president has no right to declare self-emergency. I will not say that. Because I know it's statutory duty to do that when there's a state, when there's a threat. He has the right. That one, I know that one. But constitutionally, he does not have right to suspend. We must say the truth. So, coming from the angle of Wike, Wike is also a player in what is happening in Rivers State. So, how will you feel? You will be happy for NBA to say that. So, that's his opinion.
The question would be, is that the first position NBA is taking in Rivers State crisis? NBA has been very vocal in Rivers State crisis.
Yeah.
NBA has been very vocal in Rivers State crisis,
yeah.
And in the entire lifespan of this crisis,
yeah.
NBA has taken a clear stand. NBA has taken a clear stand.
Of what?
You say you're educated and you're a journalist
I
and
said
you're well
of
aware.
What now?
NBA has taken a stand in Rivers State crisis.
Of what?
The same stand that you have taken so far. Hold on.
See, you are talking to the society.
Hold on. The things I say on this show, Frank and Awaji,
yes.
Onugwano,
yes.
are things that are hold on. They are things that are verifiable.
No, say it now.
Frank.
On what?
Hold on. They are things that are verifiable.
And
there are things that can you not interject? If you interject, I will move over to George because I assume he is more civil in this conversation. Is it possible to have a civil conversation with you? Because you're aggressive. And I don't like that. I am asking you a question. I do not need to take your position. And I won't.
No, you point out.
Hold on. I am asking you a question. Now we have discussed the state of emergency in the first conversation. What we are looking at now is the reaction of the FCT minister with regards to what Nigerian Bar Association has said.
Yes.
Now you have made that point. And I have asked you now, I'm periscoping the position of the NBA all through the time of Rivers State crisis up until state of emergency. And I am asking you, what position has NBA taken so far in this Rivers State crisis?
Obviously, let me answer you.
Go ahead.
NBA is on the part of the law.
Which is?
I'm coming.
Give instances.
Sorry. The issue, let me also go back to what you are trying to let me know. The issue of the 8-point agenda, is it constitutional? It's political. We don't need to even see it outside. Sorry. You and me can have misunderstanding and we go behind and settle it. Not pointing to, we are talking of public service, which is guided by law. So for me, NBA, irrespective of where they belong, they are trying to say, oh God, this law, we need to protect. Even if somebody is wrong, can we see how to use the law to amend what is happening? Like one of us point to the agenda, because the president is the leader of the nation. It should be guided by the law. Even if we have sentiment, there are some things you should even do as a leader of this nation. But the law also, like you said, people say go to court, go to court. The fear of people going to court is the compromise that all of us are saying. Sorry, I'm saying go to court. Some musicians are used to sing. They will see white and say white is black. And that's what we need to sanitize the system. And one of the things to sanitize the system is speaking out. The law says A should be called A. Even if you don't like me.
Are you aware that the NBA defended the governor
on what?
Running the state with a 3-man assembly or a 4-man assembly as it were?
Are
you aware that they took those positions that has been overturned by the Supreme Court? Hold on. And that now brings me to another aspect of this entire Rivers State crisis and the role the lawyers have played as well.
I'll come.
Hold on, Frank.
Yeah.
Now, the lawyers, the NBA, it's a body overseeing lawyers. NJC deals with the judges. Now, lawyers under NBA have been taking matters to courts that do not have jurisdiction. Hold on, Frank. All right, you know what? Let me face George, because I think George is more simple in this conversation. George, now, the question I was asking Frank, I'm going to ask you. Now, so far, I'm looking at the actions of the NBA and their statement and position. While I make no case for judiciary and the role they have played. Now, let us periscope the action of lawyers under NBA as well, because NBA so far has not come out to, condemn lawyers who have acted against the rule of law, or lawyers who do not play according to what they have been taught in law school, if I may say so. Now, a lot of lawyers, we have had cases in River State crisis where lawyers take matters to courts that they know do not have jurisdiction, where lawyers have also come out to interpret judgments wrongly. And I am yet to hear NBA take position on the actions of their members. What do you have to say to that?
When it comes to River State issue, when you call NBA, I'm not looking at the entire members of the NBA, because we know some of them one-on-one who are members of the NBA that pay their dues, who are completely against the position of the NBA with regards to River State issues. But however, the leadership, of course, is the leadership. When they have come to take a position and also publicize that covers the entire NBA. So it's obvious that NBA is interested party. When I mean interested party, because of whatever they stand to get from the governor of River State. So they took, like you asked, when 4 men, when it was convenient for the governor to present a budget of a state to 4 people as against the rules of the House that says you need 1/3, which is about 11 members to form quorum, in clear violation of the same constitution that our brother is talking here. NBA came to defend that. Our brother did not see it as being wrong. NBA defended it that it was okay for 3 men. They will go somewhere in the street and hire groundnut sellers to fill up the hall. Not the defending of the constitution. Because they also violated the constitution when 4 men, just 4 men, I bet 3 men, we are making laws for River State. And our brother was in support also.
Now, the thing here is, I've tried to take my time to, go through the Constitution with regards to state of emergency, and in all honesty, I am yet to see where the Constitution explicitly says that the President can suspend an elected governor or House of Assembly. You recall this is more like what played out in Edo State when the House of Assembly suspended the local government chairman. And in this on my show, I asked several questions. Can an executive suspend an elected, whether chairman or state governor, as it were? Can elected positions be suspended? Can it be suspended?
Please, do not mix the two. We are talking about state of emergency and where there is no state of emergency.
Now, I'm not speaking to you, please. This is not your place to speak. I'm having conversation with Judge.
I
need clarification. That's what I'm asking.
I missed something to get that particular provision.
All right, very well.
If I get it, I will definitely send to you.
Okay.
The word there is discretionary. May suspend. May. It is when there is state of emergency. I'm not talking about normal time when everything is going normal. When there is state of emergency, especially in the case of River State, where the governor of the state and the assembly, 2 arms of government that should work together for the development and progress of River State, are the ones impeding this development, what would you have the president do? To still allow them to remain there? Why state? Who will administer the state of emergency? I will get that and I will send it privately to you. I'm not a lawyer, but I know I have seen such a thing. Use the word suspension. May suspend. May, not shall suspend. So it's discretionary whether to suspend or not to suspend. It's within the discretion of the president. I will get that and I will forward it to you.
All right, I would want to have that piece of information from you moving forward, because I have been taking my time to go back and forth on this particular issue. Probably I will do more digging and find out.